in my training. And, I feel like I've just been doing hill reps in preparation for these, so it's tough to come out here and run with one of the hardest 800 fields like ever assembled in the regular season. Like yesterday, like I think I ran it like I was super soft the way I ran it, but that field just ridiculous. And I didn't run to win at all. I think it would be a tall task for me to win that 800 field. So, I put myself in the position yesterday to pick up those pieces, and it's unnatural for me to race for not first. So I think I paid for that yesterday, and then today I just wanted to put myself in the position to win, and that's exactly what I did. And only Josh was able to beat that strategy today, just barely. So I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I like to win, like it's no secret, but each one of these I'm seeing is a step in the right direction, and I think I did a really good job just moving on from yesterday. I felt like I got my butt kicked, and I didn't let that impact my mental at all. And then lo and behold, move on to today. It's a new day, and now I'm walking away from this meet feeling way more confident than I was last month in Miami. So that's all I can ask for. I'm healthy. I'm trending in the right direction, and I've been on this path before, so I know where it leads.
Were you surprised at all to see Marco kind of start pushing it again today? Obviously, knowing he's stronger over the shorter distances, was that kind of a shock at all, or no?
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was a shock to see him go around, but I think my 1500 instincts told me he's not holding that to the finish. Like I've been in enough 15 races. Like we weren't going too fast, but we were going fast enough where he should not have that. And I was right. Neither him or Josh had that. And that's something they have to learn the same way I'm learning the 800. So I took it out. I took it from the front. I kept it going steady. I think I could have pushed a little bit harder, but it's a little windy out there, and so I got to the front and I tried to push and string those guys out a little bit. And even though they're there with 200 to go, they've had to work to get to that point, and they can think, oh, here I'm going to kick, and then they go to kick, but there's 200 more meters to go. Like they got some work to do, and so it worked what I did. And the only other guy who was there was 1500 meter world champion. So I'm really, again, happy with how I ran that, and I was going to be very surprised if the 800 guys held that kick that they started.
We've seen Sydney now switch event groups. She did the 100 hurdles, 100 short. Obviously, they compiled this, category of short distance with the Olympic medalist in mind. But is there any temptation to jump up and maybe do the long distance group? Switch things up going into the summer.
Yeah. I was gonna do the 5K here, and then they scrapped that. And 3K, you don't get that same work that I wanted to get in. So I was gonna do that, and then I kind of had to pivot. I'm glad I was in this field, because this is such a probably the strongest field that's been assembled so far. But yeah, I'm also trying to make the 15 and the 5K team at Tokyo this year. And another thing of why the 800s, it's a stretch for me right now. It's that under distance. And so I'm training for that 5K, training for the 15, and then what I can get in the 800, I'll take it. But I think my plan is to run 5K at Stockholm here in it's about 2 weeks now. Get that. I want an outdoor 5K in before I run USAs. I have the standard in both events, but I know I have to race at USAs, and I want to be sharp in both of those. Obviously, the 1500 is still number one priority. That team is not a given, even for the Olympic gold medalist. And I know that, and I'd be naive to think I had a secured spot on that team. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do, and all these races I feel like are setting me up perfectly.
So you said
We got MJ coming in. So one more question.
You said you were going to do the 5K, 3K here before they actually scrapped it?
That was the plan. It's all kind of like, up to Kyle Merber, but that's how it looks. I think they said they were going to let me do 3K, 5K here, and then I didn't really want to do just the 3K. A big part of it, I wanted to run a good 5K, but I wanted to get the work in of a 5K. So yeah, that's what happened. But again, I'm kind of glad it happened that way, because this was such a good field today.
Why are you in the 5? What makes you want to do that?
I've always run the 5 since Oregon. I've been running it every year. Last year at trials, I ran the 5K as well. That was my 5th race of trials, and it showed. USA is set up a little differently, where I think that'll be my third race. So first of all, I think I'm going to be stronger in that, and it is kind of, as I'm progressing through my career, I want to build on top of what I've done. It's not to say, again, the 1500 is going to be a task of its own to get it done, but adding that 5K to the quiver, I need to do it. And it's something I need to do to make my 15 as strong as I need to, and yeah.